Hello, potato. It's that time of the afternoon. Need a caffeine boost, which means it's time for a tea break. And you know, today I feel like a milk tea, but I don't have time to warm up some milk and brew some tea and then pour it all over ice. So I'm going to cut down the steps a little bit by trying out some 3:15 p.m. anytime, anywhere brown sugar milk tea. Now, while I don't think I've done a video on 3:15 before, I actually have had stuff from this brand, not this particular flavor, before. And the neat thing about them is the tea packets come with sweetener and lightener already inside. Now, to be clear, this is not a boba tea. There's no boba in here. There's no boba mentioned anywhere on it. Could you add some boba to it? You absolutely could. But that's not what we're doing today. Today we're trying it as is intended. The instructions are simple. You steep for 3 minutes to have a milky, sweet flavor, 5 minutes to have less sweet but stronger tea, and I'm all for stronger tea personally. And depending on whether you want it hot or cold is how much water you use. Now, you use very little water. This does not produce a lot of product. For iced, you're going to make it with 100 cc's. For hot, 200 cc's, cubic centimeters, which is about a cup. So that's about a half a cup of liquid we're going to be seeing here for making it iced, because that is my intent today, is to make myself an iced brown sugar milk tea. Wow, if I could cut through the label, we would, there we go. Take it out and take a look at it. So I think these are individually packaged, right? Yes. Yes, they are. Comes a little package of that. You get, what, 5 of them in here. So, you know, enough for a work week if you want to keep some in your desk or something. And then in here, so this is just, should just be a tea bag. Is there a place to rip it open? There isn't. Oh, that'll do. I don't know if that was what I was supposed to do, but it came apart easily enough. So we'll assume that is correct. See, it's a tea bag, but it's an oversized tea bag because you have your sweetener and light in there already. And it does smell quite nice. It does smell like brown sugar milk tea. So I'm going to go grab me 100 cc's of hot water, and we will brew us up some tea. All right, so I'm back here with a little more than half a cup of water. So this is more than 100 cc's. They've gone a little bit over half a cup, and I think 100 cc's is like 0.47 of a cup. So this is probably, I mean, this is more water than they intend for you to use for this, but I'm not going to sit there and, you know, like with an eyedropper and get it exactly right. We'll work with this. But see, that's not very much liquid. Even poured over ice, we're not going to have a very huge drink here. But all we do here now is drop this into the water. I mean, ideally you're supposed to pour the water over it. But see, when you put it in there, it starts to get milky because that milk powder, the cream or the lightener, starts to dissolve almost immediately. So when we're done, all we should have is actually a fairly limp tea bag with just the what's left of the tea in it. So it says to give this 5 minutes for a stronger flavor. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go for the full 5, and then we will see what it is like. I'll pour it over some ice, and we'll have ourselves a nice iced brown sugar non-boba tea. So yeah, let's jump ahead like 5 minutes. So 5 minutes have now passed, and as you can see, there's not a lot of difference. I think it's probably darker than it was before the transition, but it is not, you know, yeah, it's not, I mean, it's still about the same. It's a brownish white color. So we're gonna extract that tea bag. Now, I know you're not supposed to squeeze tea bags because it lets all the bitter stuff out, but there's so little liquid here. I don't really want to lose any of that liquid because there's still some trapped in the bag. I want to get that out of there as much as possible. But see, so this is what you have left after 3:15. So how full that bag was before, that's all the tea that's in there, and that's all you have left to do. You have a big bag full of not much. A whole lot of not much. But yeah, so that's what you get when you're done with 3:15 tea bag. Let's put that out of the way and replace it with a cup of ice. So, I mean, I could have brewed the tea in here. I could have poured the hot water in there, brewed there. I don't know how great these cups are for brewing hot things in, so I chose not to. Instead, we have our cup of ice. I feel like we're gonna come to maybe about here with liquid, but you know, you could, maybe make two of them. What's the calories on these? I didn't even look. 90 calories per serving. And there's sodium. Wow, it's tiny. 0% sodium, 10 milligrams. 0% of your day. So, doesn't have much caffeine either, does it? Does say to use immediately upon opening. Well, yeah, I mentioned that that milk powder probably doesn't get any better with time. All right, so let's pour it over some ice and have ourselves a nice iced brown sugar milk tea. And I think I was about right. I think it's about where I said the liquid would come to, isn't it? Right. So, I mean, if you're gonna like serve this to somebody, you might want to put it in a smaller cup, just so they don't feel like they're getting a half a drink. Just give it a good agitation, just to make sure that it is going to be a nice chilled beverage when I take my first sip. But the color's not bad. I mean, I feel like when we make our milk tea, which we usually use Earl Grey when we make ours, it's probably about this color when it's done. I try to make it pretty strong. Also, we also make a larger quantity than this. I use like 2 Earl Grey tea bags, let it steep for a good 5 or so minutes, and then add in the milk and stuff. Also, I don't usually make it iced just because it's just an extra step, isn't it? Probably should though. All right, so there is our tea. Let's give it a try. And yeah, that is an absolutely passable. Maybe it's still a little weak. I guess I could let it go a little bit longer. Although, I mean, there's not a whole lot of tea in there. I mean, it's only so strong. I'm gonna be able to make that using the included ingredients. But it's not bad. If I wanted to have like a quick milk tea at work, assuming I had access to ice at work, that is not bad at all. Again, could be a little stronger, but that's just personal taste. I feel like this is about how it would be if I went to Quickly or Onezo or 35 degrees. 85 degrees? I think it's 85 degrees. Anyways, if I went to a place that served milk teas, Teddy Boba, you know, any of those places, this is about how strong theirs would be. So I feel like that's probably the goal. The goal is to replicate a proper tea shop milk tea, and I feel like 315 has done that. And it's the perfect thing to drink right around 315, just to give you that boost for the end of the day. Now they make a line of it. They make like coffees and other teas and stuff, and they've uniformly been pretty good when we've tried them. So I had high expectations, and I would say those expectations were met. So I'm gonna finish my little caffeine boost here. I hope you found this at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.